It's wonderful to see all the many different applications of our aircraft and how they're being used to support the national infrastructure and the environment and everything else. And Dave Foster is from RIEGL, which is a Swedish company, an Austrian company. And you're the UK managing director
Indeed,
of that company. And you create this sort of kit, which is sensing equipment and measuring equipment, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So RIEGL's a laser manufacturing company, been building laser measurement devices for 45 years now, ranging from small, almost point and shoot devices, right the way up to airborne sensing units. And there was one that you see behind us here, the VQX1, is a wing pod that's our latest innovation, if you like. Houses a variety of our sensor types, depending on the application. But the important thing about this one, it carries an STC for Cessna 172, 182 and 206. So
all the hard work's been done?
All the hard work's been done, yeah. And literally, we're almost down to a point of what does the customer want to put in the wing pod? We'll put it in, and it's almost a bolt. Not quite plug and play, but as close as you can get to.
It sounds crazy, doesn't it, that the paperwork should be the hard work?
Paperwork is the hard work everywhere.
And the design and the innovation is not so much talked about. But yeah, you can see that fitting on a Cessna strut there, you know, a solid bracket. And what sort of sensor equipment? You talk about laser, but it's photographic equipment as well.
Yeah, so it's a multi-sensory integration. So there's our laser scanning devices. So depending on which one you can go for, ranging from VUX 120, 160, which are corridor mapping devices, right the way through our 580 up to 780 ranges, which are for wider area topography. We can also house our VQ840G, which is a green laser for bathymetric applications, so water penetration. Alongside that, we're also can fit in a variety of camera configurations. So this one here, we're housing 3 phase ones, for example.
So you've talked about the different lasers and what they can do, and you talked about water penetration there.
Yes.
So what would be the application for that? You'd be looking beneath the water surface?
Yeah, so looking at river profiling, river mapping.
Riverbeds and things,
and such like, river profilers and valley conditions, also inshore mapping. So at the low tide, you're not only mapping the beach, for example, but you're also able to penetrate water up to 2 secchi depths. So it's twice as deep as you can see with your eye.
Right.
Into the water to map also what's there or detect objects and such like.
Now, if you fly, or even if you don't fly, you might have seen these helicopters flying around the electricity cables and poles and the national grid network. And I mean, if you've not seen them, the standard of flying is incredible, because they swing these helicopters around the electricity transmission cables and towers, and they've got your equipment on them.
So they're running a slightly different pod, which is the VP1. But yeah, they're bolted on the back of EC135s that they operate to both use the laser to scan and map the electrical infrastructure, the transmission lines, the towers, but also to map the vegetation, because vegetation encroachment onto that area of infrastructure is quite a crucial issue to monitor, as well as cameras and such like to actually monitor the transmission towers, including the wooden poles as well. So that's how the level of detail they're going down to, or level of scale, I should say.
And then going to exactly the opposite end of the scale, onto UAVs as well. You've got equipment that attaches to UAVs.
Indeed, yes. So we have a dedicated UAV range. And some of those UAV devices can cross over into helicopter applications. 2 main types, one with a full 360 type circular scan pattern, and the other with a more defined scan pattern, so a narrower field of view for corridor mapping. So transmission lines, as we've already talked about, railways, highways, that sort of infrastructure. And they fit onto drones, UAVs, being lighter weight and allow more efficient deployment, if you like.
You'd think the whole country and the world has been mapped and photographed and measured already, but I suppose a big thing these days is environment as well. And I guess
Indeed.
that's the kind of new, really big new area.
So yeah, so we have customers who are using our sensors to map and detail forests and trees, to work out individual tree masses, for example. So we're talking about above ground carbon amounts, tree inventories, and tree health as well, forest health. So we can monitor the growth rates of the trees and how much carbon sequestration is undertaken, for example.
Yeah. Great work. Well done for what you've created, and
Well, we try, and
well done for getting the paperwork signed off.
Well, yes, indeed, yes. It's taken
I bet that was
more than a couple of weeks of work, I think. I think you're fine.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Dave Foster
John.
from RIEGL. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. Good to meet you.